Hello and welcome to the show. You know Edwin Moses for his work on the track and field and at several Olympic Games in the 70s and 80s. But the hurdles he's jumped in the decades since have helped a lot of other athletes win as well. From pay equity to endorsements to racial equality, the world champ has never stopped running for causes that are important to him. And it is my honor to welcome the Dr. Edwin Moses to the show. Hello.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
And I am so honored to have you here.
Much.
Thank you for blazing a trail, literally, for all of us. We appreciate you.
Thank
and
you.
I'm excited to get to have people understand the motivation for what you did and why you did it so passionately with so much pushback in different arenas. But first, I want to start with the physics, math, and engineering genius who went to Morehouse College with no sights on any kind of Olympics, right?
That's correct.
Tell me about that young Edwin Moses.
When I came into Morehouse, I was literally a little boy, probably about 5'9", 135, 140 pounds. And the reason I went to Morehouse was because my mom and dad were both HBCU students. And they didn't think that another major school in Ohio, the big Ohio State, was really the right mix for me, the right pick for me. I was like really nerdy in high school. I took 5 years of math, 2 years of chemistry, 2 years of biology, a year of physics, a year of computer science, and even organic chemistry in high school.
Wait, and this was in high school?
I was in high school. I was like that nerd.
You were that brilliant.
I was Urkel, yeah. And I was top of the class. And my mom and dad, being educators, were very careful as to where I went.
Right.
Morehouse was the pick because I got a full scholarship to study in the dual degree program at Georgia Tech and Morehouse. And I went to Morehouse sight unseen.
And which is amazing to me.
Sight unseen.
But you didn't go to Morehouse with your eyes set on even being an athlete, right? I think I read where you tried football, but you were like,
I got kicked off the football team.
Gotcha, right. I was going to let you say it.
I got cut from the basketball team. I was on the gymnastics team. We did fencing. I did gymnastics.
But at Morehouse,
we didn't have a track.
There wasn't even a track. You were literally jumping over fences.
The whole time I was there.
There were no hurdles.
Even 2 years after I came back from the Olympics in '76, I still was jumping over fences and breaking into stadiums and going everywhere from Lakewood Stadium to Avondale to Grady High to Georgia Tech to Oglethorpe, all over the city, whatever track was available. So I never had a home track when I was at Morehouse, but I was surrounded by brilliant young men.
Yeah.
I was the exception in high school. I was the smartest kid. There was only like 5 of us who were taking the sciences. I was the top student. And I was the exception. When I went to Morehouse, there were like 10 other guys as smart as me.
Right,
They came from similar situations. So being at an HBCU during that time was really powerful. And that put me in a position to I walked on the track and field team. I wasn't a member of the team. I just walked on because I ran track in high school.
Yeah.
But
and I know you said, where I listened to some interviews, you said, but for Morehouse College, you don't think that we would even know the Edwin Moses that we all know, the Olympic gold winning, two-time gold-winning world champion.
I could have gone. Well, number one, I wasn't eligible, would have never gotten a scholarship to go to any junior college, small college, anywhere. I would have been a walk-on, but only because of the leadership, being around other black men who were smart, being serious about the sport. I stayed in track and field longer than people that were a lot better than me. I started at the back of the pack when I was in high school because I was the smallest kid. And it took me years and years and years to like catch up. And once I caught up, I always lost until I started winning in 1976.
Wow.
But I love the sport of track and field, and the fact that like a tenth of a second, 2/10 of a second improvement over a year was major. So that's why I love the sport of track and field. It was self-cut. I couldn't get cut by the coach.
Right, you're not getting cut,
It's
especially
self-cut.
after you did that math problem. So I want to talk about that math problem, but first I want to take just a look at a clip from Moses, 13 steps to sort of set things up here.
You know, he was like Superman in real life.
The ability to overcome and produce your best for years.
It's unbelievable.
100+ races won in a row? Who's doing that?
I want
won 58 races in a row, and I'm second.
Edwin Moses is the greatest of all time as the 400-meter hurdler.
Lots of Morehouse men.
Lots of Morehouse
in this.
brothers,
We see
yeah.
Sam Jackson, we see Spike Lee, all instrumental in wanting to help tell the story of who you are and
That's
why you
right.
do what you do.
That's right.
What are you hoping people will get?
I think from an education point of view, it shows the story of a kid, literally a kid, that went to an HBCU that happened to be Morehouse and really activated and imagined a dream and made it happen. I didn't know that I ever had the ability to go to the Olympic Games, but once I got
Not
closer
something you
and
ever
closer-
dreamed
never.
of as a
Well, I dreamed about it in 1968 when
Right.
Tommy Smith and John Carlos raised their fist.
Of
Every
course.
kid that ran track
Right.
thought that they were going to be one, but it's no. I guess it's as much of a dream as a kid who plays basketball and they all think they're going to the NBA, but it's almost impossible. So I just stuck with the sport and picked the right sport and the right event at the right time. And I was good, and I wasn't afraid to hurt and practice. And that's really what it comes down. I paid the price in practice, academically at Morehouse and physically on the track. And those were the only two things I did. I didn't hang out too much.
Did
when I
not
was
hang
in
out,
college.
but you did some math.
I did
You
some math.
brought something with you that
Yeah.
speaks to the calculation, how
Yeah.
you calculated these 13 steps.
Yeah. We used to use these. These were. It's called a slide rule. These were the calculators during my time. We didn't have calculators. In fact, by the time I finished my third or fourth year at Morehouse, that's when we were allowed to use a calculator, HP12C. That was the first one where you could do scientific calculations. But
Yeah.
up until then, this was like my first one that I had in high school.
And
to
is
do
that's
chemistry.
the one that you use to say, okay, how am I going to do the physics behind?
Well, you can calculate like yardage
Yeah.
and angles, and you can do radius and all the basic calculations that we would use. We would do it on this.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And it's
this
so
is a
critical.
calculator.
The calculator there. We're going to talk about the other calculations that you have made.
This is a calculator.
Yes, indeed. When we return, we'll be right back. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And I really want to thank you for season 3 of Portia. It's because of loyal viewers like you that we keep getting to share this daily dose of positivity all across the country. So just a reminder, I still need you to like, comment, and subscribe. And go ahead and tell your friends. You can catch us now in Orlando, in San Francisco, in Atlanta, and all across the country on Fox Soul. Tell your friends. We'll see you soon on Portia.